All right, welcome to YouTube. This is Expat D. I'm here with a very special guest, No Limit Eddie.
What's up? Glad to be here.
All right, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about
Okay.
your background? I know that you're a YouTuber. You
Right.
got some digital products. Kind of tell us a little bit about what you do.
Cool. So yeah, it's me, No Limit Eddie. I guess my motto is like the 25-year-old American who's been traveling the world the last 4 years straight. So originally from Los Angeles, California. When I was 21, I left America, went over to Tanzania. I've only been back to the States 6 days in the last 4 years. So I've just been kind of bouncing around wherever I could. Yeah.
Right. I have a lot of questions I have for you because I've been watching Eddie for years on YouTube.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit out of sequence.
Okay.
Kind of piggybacking. I noticed around 2020, Tanzania was kind of a hot spot.
Yeah,
Why?
for sure. So I would say it was the openness of the country. So at that point, Magufuli had the country fully open. There was no restrictions to get in. There was no nothing to get in. You just walk in the country, you're free. So that was the big appeal. When everybody was kind of taking your freedom, Tanzania was the most free. And so around that time, everybody was going to TZ. Then there was also a big Hebrew Israelite movement pushing its way into TZ. You know what I mean? A lot of people believe in this is a holy land, this is a promised land. I didn't really believe that, but I did believe, hey, this is where we should be at this point in time because of the restrictions. I ain't messing with it.
Okay, they thought Tanzania was that spot.
Yeah, like
Okay.
there's a large group of people who think like the maps have been flipped and this is Jerusalem and this like yeah, there's a large contingent of people who believe that. You know what I mean? So that was a big portion of the movement too down that side. Was that?
Okay. Kind of segueing into California.
Okay.
Do you think being from California, there's like an open-mindedness that has you open to traveling?
Yeah, I think so because in Cali, like everybody moves there, especially LA. You know, everybody wants to be a Hollywood star. Everybody wants to be a rapper. Everybody wants to be this. So not only do you have people from every single state in Los Angeles, we have people from China, people from Japan, people from Nigeria, people from Ghana. You're gonna run across a lot of international people. You know what I mean? And then it's just even just tourism. People are going there just to walk on the Hollywood Strip. So you're gonna meet and see other people from other nations, and you kind of lose a little bit of the American ignorance where they're like, Africans must live in huts, this. When you see Nigerian, you talk to them, oh, how was this? You kind of can learn a little bit more than the average person, I'd say. If you're like in Wisconsin or something like that, where nobody goes.
Right. So, like, what was the moment? What prompted you to go abroad? So, was it just to leave the country, or is it specifically Africa?
So, okay, I always wanted to leave the US, right? So like I got my passport back in 2018. However, I never even was on a plane before until I came to Tanzania. So I knew I was always gonna leave the States at some point in time. I thought I was gonna go to the Middle East in particular. Yeah, I thought I was gonna go to the Middle East. But again, around the time where I decided to leave, it was a lockdowns and restrictions. So I didn't care where I was going. I'm like, where is freedom? You know what I mean? And it just so happened to be Tanzania. And yeah, I fell in love with African culture, with the vibe and everything like that, and didn't want to leave.
Right. How'd you become a YouTuber?
Yeah, okay. I don't even know if I consider myself a YouTuber, to be fair. When I first left the States, I was really like doing drop shipping pretty heavy. So that's where I was really making money. People thought I was a YouTuber, but I was just making YouTube videos showcasing what I was doing, but the money was coming from the drop shipping.
Okay.
Yes. And then eventually, I say like a year ago is when I really started to lock in on YouTube. Like, no, I need to be serious about it. So that's when I went from like that 20K to now we're at 60K. Like really over the past year, that growth has happened. Taking YouTube serious, planning out the videos, planning out the thumbnails, like locking in.
Yeah, I think you had mentioned in your content that you had 1,094 days without making money before you had a breakthrough.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you have that type of resilience?
So, okay, so for me, I started trying to make money online at 14, right? Yes, I didn't make my first dollar till I was 17. So it was like, there really was no choice, because at 14, you can't really get a job. 15, you
Right.
can't really get a job. 16, you can get a job, but only if your parents allow you.
Right.
And my mom was like, no, I don't want you working, focus on school. So the online avenue was the only way, you know what I mean? And I grew up in poverty. So Section 8, EBT, all this kind of stuff, that's where I grew up in. And so it's like, nah, I need to do better for myself and future generations. And I'm like, the online way is the route. Because you're not going to work at Food for Less and create generational wealth. You know what I mean? You got to crack the code a different way.
Yeah.
And it's just the most I guess open my eyes to see online is a way to go. And that helped me tremendously, because so many people come to the continent and they can't sustain themselves.
Yes.
But I'll put in the work. I have a foundation of like, I know how to make money. Even if YouTube disappeared, I know how to make money online. That most people don't have that skill, and it takes time to learn it. Like I said, 1,900 days before I made my first dollar. So,
Yes.
yeah.
It's kind of segueing. So in terms of traveling,
Okay.
what do you think most people Americans misunderstand about traveling to like the different places like Tanzania or Egypt?
Okay. So when you say traveling, do you mean it's like a 2-week joint, or like people who are trying to expat?
I would say even to be open-minded enough to go, because I'll tell you, like from my experience, when I used to mention going abroad, people really looked at me like I was crazy, and they felt like everywhere outside of America was unsafe,
Right.
or it's extremely like primitive.
Yeah. Okay. That is a common misconception. I think it's changing a little bit. I think now, as they say, what desperate times call for desperate measures. I think so much wickedness is going on in the States, where whether it's people are living in storage units, I just made a video about that, or people can't afford good quality food, or people are always getting sick. And so they're looking for alternatives. You know what I mean? And I think now they're like, okay, maybe there's a place outside of America that has what I need. So I think it's the first thing, just becoming aware that there is stuff outside of America. And then number two, I think a big misconception people have that stops them from traveling is fear. You know what I mean? Am I gonna get kidnapped? Are they gonna extort me? Are they gonna hold me for ransom? You know what I mean? Are they gonna witchcraft me? Like, people are nervous about every single thing. But America does a good job at painting itself as the best place and painting everywhere else as a bad place. So I think that's a big misconception, is just a fear. They gotta get over it.
Right. So I had kind of a previous question that we talked about. I wanted to follow up on something about Tanzania. So you're a business person, and I noticed that recently there's been some issues, particularly in the Black community, with like scamming in Tanzania.
Especially.
Right. So like, what's your take on that? Because I see some of the feedback, which I'm hearing from others, is that a lot of people are really coming without the business background, and they're trying to reinvent themselves, and they're they really start scamming people because they're trying to find these loopholes and stuff.
Okay, so there's a lot to talk about on this, because I made videos about this when I first left Tanzania. Like, eventually this stuff is going to come out, and it took years before it came out, and it finally has. And so the reason why you never see my name mentioned in any of that stuff, is because the biggest way you get in trouble is doing something you don't know what you're doing about. If I don't understand how to make a couch, I should not be selling a couch to somebody else. I shouldn't say, I'm gonna custom make you a pink couch, and I never did it before. And so people are being in Tanzania for 2 months telling you, I'm gonna teach you how to move to Tanzania. Bro, you haven't even moved there. You've been here for 2 months. And so people they may be good intention. They may not even have an intention to do bad, but they don't have a strong enough foundation to really be teaching the stuff they're teaching. And so with me, I have digital ebooks, I got one-on-one courses. I mean, I sell my stuff for $3,000. You'll never see nobody come out and say, no limit Eddie has scammed me. Because like I said, I had a foundation. I'm teaching you what I know how to do and what I'm actively doing. And so that's the difference between me and most people, is I'm going to teach you what I actually know. So the people who are getting in trouble with the land scamming, bro, you're not a real estate agent. You don't even own land yourself. How are you selling land to other people? You know, and so that's kind of the problem. But I do feel bad about people who got scammed. And I do feel maybe the people weren't even bad intention, but it's just they just didn't have the knowledge to kind of work their way through the situation. So my advice, people who want to make money online, do what you know how to do. You know, don't overdo it.
I think both for platforms are similar, because one of my goals is to get people to really to motivate them
Okay.
to travel abroad and learn how to do it in a way that's sustainable. What do you think is the blueprint
Okay.
for someone that wants that they're, let's say they're living in America or somewhere in the West or in a
Right.
country that they want to get out? What do you think is the blueprint for doing that?
The blueprint for moving out of America. Okay, the first thing is getting a job. Okay, getting a job in the States, right? So many people who are maybe not doing well financially in the States try to move out. I don't suggest that. You need to have money in the States. Like, if we're being honest, the easiest place on earth to make money is America. If you cannot make money in America, you should not be moving to Kenya. You should not be moving to Tanzania. You should not be moving to nowhere else besides the States. Stay there until you know how to make money. That's the first thing. So get a job. Start, making some money, saving some money a little bit. The next thing is figuring out skills that you can monetize online. So there are people who maybe want to do physical businesses. My brain doesn't really think like that. It thinks more online. So get some type of skills, learn to copyright, learn how to video edit, learn how to do some type of skill you can monetize online. Even if it is editing words for people, you got to learn some kind of a skill, right? Particularly a high paying skill that you can sell to other people, especially other businesses. And then start a business with that skill you've learned and then move that overseas. To me, that's the blueprint.
Yes.
Get a job, get financially stable, save some money, get a skill, then learn to monetize that skill. I suggest you start making money before you leave America. So your online business should already, even if it's small, even if it's $100 a month that your online business is doing, you already have a proof of concept. So you can say, okay, once I quit my job, I can dedicate these 8 hours that I was spending working to this business, and I'll go from 100 to 300, 300 to 600, 600 to 900, and then little by little, you'll be able to make enough money to sustain yourself and support yourself. And then you've already been working, so you have that cash flow in the back to kind of just assist you in the beginning. So that's my blueprint.
Yes. What overseas country would you recommend to start in?
To move to, it all depends. So if you are someone who's looking for the African experience, I would suggest maybe Uganda. Yeah, maybe Uganda to move to. If you're looking for just like good quality of life, I would suggest Egypt. And then I would say South Africa is the most like America, but the visa is not the easiest in South Africa. So you gotta be kind of paying attention to the visa. So Egypt has the easiest visa laws. Uganda has like the second most relaxed, but you get the more like everyone looks like you experience that you're not gonna get in Egypt.
Yes.
So yeah, Egypt or Uganda is what I would say.
Okay, what really stood out about your content is I see a lot of travelers. I see a lot of them that gravitate to like Thailand, that gravitate to Philippines.
Yeah.
If it's Africa, it might be Ghana, Kenya.
Yeah.
When I saw you go to Egypt, that really stood out.
Right.
And I was like, huh. So how'd you get to Egypt? Like what opened the doors for that?
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about the Ghana. So you see now everybody's fleeing Ghana right now. That's a big movement going on. Everybody's fleeing Ghana because to me, Ghana was always overpriced. So I never had a desire to go to a place where I'm paying more for less quality. So in Ghana, you're paying maybe 12 to sometimes 24-month rent up front. So if your rent is $2,000 and you're paying 24 months, that's 48 grand, whoop, disappeared. And so then you're still getting these houses. I saw a lady, and it was Jess or something like that, African-American who moved there. She paid this housing and it flooded. The whole wall fell down, the interior of the house fell down and all that kind of stuff. And so you're paying a lot of money for inferior work.
Right. And
so I noticed that from afar, from a while back. I'm like, okay, nah, Ghana is not my vibe. It's not my speed. Maybe one day I'll visit Ghana, but even now I'm not even in a mood to visit, you know what I mean, the West Africa. Right. And so when you think about Egypt, the cost of living to me is the best. It's second to none, I would say, cost of living wise. The visa is the main reason I really went to Egypt, because in Tanzania, I kind of ran into a situation where I applied for a visa. I got the visa. I paid the money for the visa. It was supposed to be 2 years. They gave me 9 months. Before the 9 months, they were saying they're going to give us nothing. So I learned, okay, the visa laws are very important wherever you go. Try to find a place where the corruption is minimal. People say Egypt is corrupt, but literally in 3.5 years, I never paid a single bribe. So I don't know how corrupt it can be when literally I lived there and there was no corruption. Also with Egypt, the people are very friendly. You want to go to a place where you're going to kind of be treated like the same or sometimes even better. You know what I mean? As a local. And so Egypt is one of those places where they like really, really, really hospitable. So that's kind of one of the reasons. And then I just like it. It's a good vibe. Yeah, a good vibe in Egypt.
Yes. What's your favorite country abroad to live
Okay.
and then just travel?
Okay.
Because it's two different ones. Because
Yeah.
my favorite, like I work abroad, and where I like to work,
Right.
it's not the same that I like to just travel and have fun. There's certain stabilities that are in place
Right.
for working, and then there's certain like just adventure stuff that I like to travel.
Right. And to me, there's a big difference between being a tourist in a place and being an expat in a place.
Right.
Very big difference. My favorite place I say to live, I still say Egypt.
Oh,
Just because of the ease of like visas, the cost of living, everything is smooth in Egypt. So Egypt will be my favorite place to live. To travel, I'm gonna say Johannesburg, South Africa. Top tier destination. Like literally I'm in Kenya, like I wanna go back to Joburg, you know what I mean? But I gotta, for the content's sake, experience different places, you know what I mean? But if it was up to me, I'd be in Joburg. Yeah, for sure. Favorite place.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
I've never gone to South Africa.
Crazy in Joburg.
Right. One of my other questions, you're vegetarian, right?
Yeah.
So are you vegetarian or vegan?
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Is that challenging being abroad, being vegetarian? What's that like?
Okay, so for me, it's not too challenging. I say the biggest challenge with that is the commenters. YouTube commenters is actually the biggest challenge.
Really?
Yes. You're in South Africa and you're not gonna eat a braai?
I know.
Oh, you're not experiencing real South Africa.
Right.
It's so crazy. Like they're so concerned about what I as a man eat. It's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Even in Kenya, they're gonna say that. You need to eat yama choma. You need to do this. You need to eat the samaki. They're gonna, want me to experience the local cuisine, I guess. But yeah, that's the biggest challenge is that, you know what I mean, but as far as eating healthy and stuff like that, I mean, especially in Uganda, you just go on the side of the road, there's avocados there, bananas, everything you want is there, watermelon's there, you buy it, you eat it, you're good to go. Most of the time in these countries, I'll eat like the ugali or the posho with the beans, and I'll get some sukima wiki or some kunde or whatever it is, eat some greens on the side, and I'm kosher, so that's all it is.
Yeah. I was meaning to ask you this question earlier.
Okay.
What's your craziest abroad story?
I don't even have crazy abroad stories. Like, I don't even, like, nothing crazy happens to me. All praise to the Most High. Nothing crazy happens to me. Like, I think I'm mindful of what I do. So, I don't drink, I don't smoke. So that eliminates 99% of the risk that you have.
Okay.
So, number two, I'm not a big party person.
Right.
So when you're in environments where people are partying, you're going to be around more rowdy people. There's a higher chance of just something weird occurring.
Right.
Third, I'm not big on the hookup culture, this. So I don't have no girl coming in and robbing me.
Right.
If you can eliminate most of the, let's just say, sins in life,
that's
things
true.
tend to move smoothly.
Right.
So I don't even have any crazy stories. Like,
okay.
Yeah, thankfully, all praises.
Yeah. Or what about most adventurous moment, would you say?
Most adventurous moment.
Yeah.
What would that be? I don't even know if I like do too much adventuring.
Okay.
I think when I went scuba diving, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, when I went scuba diving in the Red Sea, because I didn't even know how to swim at that point in time.
Right.
So I don't know what I was doing in the middle of an ocean. But yeah, that may have been the most adventurous, doing a scuba diving joint out in Egypt.
Yeah. Because we have them. Like I'll tell you, I just had one a couple weeks ago. I was running from the cops in Thailand. Because Thailand has this. Did you rent it? Oh, when you went there, did you rent a scooter?
I didn't even rent a scooter.
Okay, because you were in Bangkok, right?
I was in Bangkok.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more like Phuket and those other places. I don't think I'd ride a scooter in Bangkok.
It's a little bit hectic.
Yeah.
It's a little bit hectic. Yeah.
But they started like with the cops. They started just randomly pulling people over and checking for your
license.
Yeah, and a lot of us don't have it, and so I just tried to disrobe, and then we started running like cops. Yeah, but it didn't turn out that bad. But they got me. But I'm not crazy, right? It was only like a whatever. It turned into like a $20 bribe.
So did they put the sirens and everything on?
No, they had a whistle. he just chased me with a whistle,
So
right?
they was on a moped too.
Yeah. So what happened was I drove past, and then like they were just I heard this was going on, and I thought all my routes like were
planned out.
yeah, we're avoiding them, and because we're going to the beach, and I wanted to go like the evening and see the sunset, and then we started going. I know the route, and then all of a sudden they were blowing the whistle, and hey, and I'm just like,
no way.
right. And I thought because they weren't on a bike, I thought they were just like
They're
not gonna
okay,
get
the
me.
next person,
and then they end up flagging me down and stuff. But yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, a lot of those crazy stories, but
got you. That's why.
yeah, that kind of comes with the territory. Yeah. Can you share a moment that made you truly question your move to abroad?
Yeah, definitely. So that was in Tanzania. So where it was, I paid all the money for the school. I paid the money for the government. I'm supposed to get a 2-year visa. Next thing you know, it's like we had like a community there. I'm getting calls, hey, they're not giving us student visas anymore. This. I then had like 14 days to leave the country or I'll be there illegally. So if I was there illegally, I mean, of course, there's a risk of going to jail, which they were putting people in jail. And then a risk of like being like blacklisted from the country.
Right.
And so now I got 14 days to have to plan a trip. This is during COVID. I'm not trying to take a COVID test. I'm not trying to take no vaccine. So there's very limited places I can go. And so there was a big just like stress for those days to figure everything out. And so yeah, at that point in time, like, bro, I don't know. This Africa stuff is a little more wicked than I thought because I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna be love. It's gonna be like you coming home. It's gonna be this, and you get there and you seeing straight hatred.
Yeah, they want that money, huh?
Yeah, straight hatred. It was wild. It was wild, you know. And they were giving like Jamaicans. You had a Jamaican passport. They still give you a student visa, but Americans.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this is some type of singling out type of situation.
Wow.
So I didn't have no respect for that, and yeah, a lot of scams going on in Tanzania. So Tanzania really made me not want to be in sub-Saharan Africa. And so that's why I was in Egypt and I was like, I went to Thailand, I went to Turkey before I came back down this side. Because I had a nasty taste in my mouth because I thought every place would be like TZ.
Right.
But TZ is a case of its own. Because shout out to Kenya, man. Shout out to Uganda. Like y'all are doing righteousness for the most part. You know what I mean? So yeah, big ups to y'all.
Well, what's a country that you haven't gone to that you'd most like to visit?
So I made a post about this the other day, like asking my subscribers where they want to see me next. And I was like, okay, I'm either thinking about going to Rwanda or going back to South Africa. And I got a lot of answers. They were like telling me to go to Malawi, which is interesting. I just did a collab with a Malawian right now. So I'm like, maybe I'll go to Malawi. I say yeah, either Rwanda or Malawi. But really, someplace I want to go, Honduras. Honduras. Yes, that's really where, if it was just up to me, I want to go to Honduras.
Honduras.
Yeah. You know, there's like this island, Rotan or something like that, where it's black people. They speak English there.
Okay.
You know, yeah, and it looks like a vibe. So Honduras will be my destination. Yeah.
For your channel, what's one myth that you think your channel really consistently bust?
Okay. Yeah, so I think now one of the things that I'm trying to highlight is that African Americans, if you want to call us that, Black Americans, whatever you want to call us, are not very dissimilar to continental Africans. Like, I don't think there's that big of a difference culturally, socially, or anything like that from Black Americans to continental Africans. The more I travel, the more I'm convinced that that's the case. And when you hang around them, the vibe is the same. It's not like a weird vibe. Energy flows the right way most of the time, especially with Bantu people. The energy flows the right way. So when you go to most of these African countries, you realize they all have a corn dish. They all have, here they got ugali, there they got posho, and in South Africa it's samp. In America we got cornbread. We all have our bean dish. We do the black eyed peas. They do the I don't know how they call it, nakarange or whatever. So everybody, it's the same, but it's just slightly different based off of your geographical location. So I think there's more similarities and differences between the food, between the languages, between our beliefs, between the way we look, between the way we talk, between the way we interact. It's quite similar.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to break.
Okay. Now, as someone, I think your tagline on your channel is you like to expose the good, bad, and ugly,
Yeah, yeah.
right,
Yeah.
of moving to Africa.
Mhm.
What's the most overlooked ugly?
Mm. The most overlooked ugly in
Mhm.
Africa. I think the crazy thing is there's so much. I think there's maybe too much ugly,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I think people, I mean, that's what we talked about earlier, right? Like people don't even want to come to Africa because they believe so much of that nonsense. And so I think really it's more good than people realize and less bad than people realize. But if I had to say the worst part,
Or like, what's the part that's most overlooked
the most
that
overlooked.
they weren't expecting? That's ugly.
Mm. Interesting. Let me think.
Because I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
The one thing that got me, at least in some of the areas of Africa,
Right.
is the water.
Really?
I've spent time in I haven't even tested the water here.
Okay.
But I know I was in Ghana
Okay.
because I did a study abroad program years ago, and our instructor said, like our whatever leader of our group,
Yeah.
said, yeah, you can have the water, bottled water, and you could drink the water in the plastic bag, right? And then, but don't drink the tap water, right?
Right. Right.
So I had a hotel, and it was kind of like in a remote area,
Right.
and so everything closed down, and all they had was the water in the plastic bag. That was not it.
Really?
That's the sickest I've ever gotten. It just felt like someone just kicking you in the stomach
No way.
all day.
Yeah.
I was supposed to travel from Ghana and then end up going to like Ivory Coast. And
Yeah.
some hop around Africa.
Yeah.
I got so sick I couldn't.
So now you just drink bottled water now whenever.
Yeah, I don't.
Now what about, let's say if you're washing dishes, do you wash it with the sink water, or are you so
Um,
extreme that you get the
Yeah, I wash dishes with the
sink?
tap. Yeah,
Okay.
tap. But I wouldn't brush my teeth. Nothing.
Really?
No.
So for me, I think I'm adjusted, I guess.
That's
I can
good.
brush my teeth with the water, this
Yeah.
stuff, but I never had any bad experience with the water.
Okay.
Thankfully. But I always do drink bottled water.
Yeah.
I never drink like the sink water.
It might have changed. I don't know how much of it. I just haven't tested. I haven't tried. I had
'Cause
such
even,
a bad.
even Africans, they will
Yeah.
get sick from that water.
Okay.
You know, and they always be like, when a woman try to cook for me here, they always trying to boil the sink water. I'm like, y'all be getting typhoid, and y'all keep telling me it just gotta boil it. I'm like, no,
Yes.
use the bottled water to cook.
And
you know?
the same thing with vegetables, raw vegetables.
Really?
You being a vegetarian, I'm not. I haven't really tried it because I've had my experiences like living in Ethiopia,
Okay.
just with the raw, like greens and things like that.
I've
If
never
it's
really had the raw.
Or if it's a salad,
Uh-huh.
done.
Interesting.
So
I think I cooked most of them.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
'Cause
cook
some of that will send you for days.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess my most overlooked bad, I feel like the housing actually is an overlooked bad, because I noticed that they, especially not here, they have really nice houses here, as we can see.
Yes.
But especially in like Uganda and things like that,
Okay.
it's like they don't like the sun. You know what I mean? So they build like small windows, shaded windows. It's like very rare to find a house with a good amount of natural light.
Yes.
The finishes are not really that nice most of the time. And so yeah, I think housing is one thing I despise.
Yes.
In a lot of places.
Yeah, I had a bad experience in what's the area next to the little island next to Tanzania?
You're talking about Zanzibar.
Zanzibar. Airbnb is not the way to go.
That's not the way to go.
I got an Airbnb and it was unfinished. It was like just cement.
Yeah.
It looked like you go to Home Depot, like in the back of Home Depot. There was like concrete floors.
The finishing
Yes.
is horrible.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Kenya, shout out to South Africa.
Yeah, this is
but-
nice places here.
Yeah.
There it was. I couldn't stay. And even the guy. This is the guy told me. He said, "Yeah, so what room are you gonna stay in?"
Mhm.
I said, "I booked the whole place. What do you mean, what room?" He said, "Yeah, my brother, he's gonna stay here too." I said, "I booked the whole place for me. Like, what are you doing?"
But that's one of those scams. That's one of those scams you run into in TZ.
Right.
TZ, nothing is as it appears, man. Tanzania is not the place to be for a long time. Visit, okay, but that's it.
Right. I had I have a couple closing questions, but first
Okay.
I had a couple would you rather questions.
Would you rather?
Yes, travel edition. Would you rather?
Okay.
First question: $200,000 a year living in the U.S. or $4,000 a month abroad. Which one would you rather have?
4,000 a month abroad. The U.S., bro, it's not. It doesn't matter how much money you make. You number one, you're gonna spend it. Cost of living is high. I mean, you can easily spend 10,000 a month just on rent. So half of that, 20K is already gone. So here you can adjust your lifestyle accordingly. And then number two, it's like peace of mind. You know what I mean? Like money can't buy, they say happiness, all that type of stuff, but money can't really buy peace of mind. And you don't really have peace of mind in the States. When you're driving, like, oh, if I get pulled over today, this is gonna be a hassle, this. They give you tickets every day, every 5 minutes, you know what I mean? The food quality is horrible, the air is horrible, the people are not the nicest. So to me, America doesn't have enough good. Even if it was $1 million a year, I don't wanna live in the States. You know, yeah, that's me at least.
Okay. Tough question for where I'm at. Next, would you rather question, Kenya or Uganda?
Man, okay, so I'm gonna give it for your audience, right?
Okay.
So for your audience, it depends on who you are. So if you are a city person, if you love the Miamis, if you love the LAs, if you love the New Yorks, come to Nairobi. Right? Nairobi has that. It has the development that you're looking for. It has the infrastructure you're looking for, the restaurants. I mean, every restaurant you want is kind of here. You know what I mean? Whether you want a pizza spot, you want a nice Italian steak spot, Brazilian steak spot, everything they kind of have it here, a variation of it. So you're not gonna lack, I would say, entertainment options. And it's more fun. I'm gonna say that, point blank, it's way more fun here.
Yeah.
Bowling here, arcades here, parks here, like you can have fun in Nairobi much easier than you can in Uganda. So that's one thing Uganda needs to step it up, man. They don't even got a bowling alley in Kampala. Like, y'all need to up the game for real. But I would choose for myself, Uganda.
Okay.
Yes, because I'm more of a chill, relaxed person. You know? So I like to just eat some good food, you know, have a nice woman, live life peacefully. Uganda allows me to do that.
Right.
So Kenya is too developed for me, I would say. The people are a little more cold, you know what I mean? So yeah, in Uganda, everybody's warm, everybody's open. So I'm a Kampala kind of person.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. By the way, he hasn't gone to Mombasa yet. Okay. He hasn't gone to Mombasa. If I know anybody watching from Kenya, they're gonna be like, Mombasa.
That's why I put out Nairobi is like.
Yeah. He might have a different answer if he goes there. Egypt or Uganda? Would you rather?
So, I mean, I guess technically I was living in Egypt and I made my home base now Uganda. So I guess I've chosen Uganda. Okay. But in general, I would say Egypt. Oh, okay. Just in general, I would say Egypt. Okay. Just because the friendliness that you get in Uganda, you also get it in Egypt. Where Egypt lacks, and the reason why I've made Uganda the home base is, of course, women, melanated women are not going to be in Egypt. You're going to have the Arabic women, which not my cup of tea. And then the food. To me, I prefer the food in Uganda over the food in Egypt. Right. You know what I mean? It's just, it hits the soul better in Uganda, the food. You know what I mean? Yes. Shawarma is nice, a little, what do they call those things? Falafel is nice, all that stuff is good. But it don't hit the way the Swahili food does, so yeah. You
mentioned, so dating-wise, let's say, do you plan on getting married one day?
Do I plan on getting married?
This is a hesitation. Wow, I thought I was gonna get a quick answer.
My woman gonna watch this and be like, I thought we were gonna get married one day. No. But okay, so my last podcast with O'Shea. Okay. It got me into some trouble.
Okay.
Talking about polygamy, this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But as far as getting married, I think if I can find a situation where it's more advantageous to be married than to not be married, I would do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, does that person have to be a traveler?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. It's nice if they travel, but at the same time, I'm a person who would like kind of like being alone at times. Okay. So I feel like if I'm married, okay, let's say I'm here 6 months, then I'm going for 1 month. Then it gives me time to miss my woman, miss my family. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? That's what I would prefer. Versus like I'm with you every day, all day. Like it's too much. Right. You know what I mean? Let me breathe a little bit. So
you're gonna need a special type of woman that's gonna let you go.
Yeah. Shout out to my Rwandese.
So that's what he's gonna need right there. He's gonna need a special woman that's gonna say, yeah, you can go.
Yeah. Nah, it come with the program. It come with the program. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Couple other, 2 more would you rather questions. Would you rather experience one life-changing adventure with 0 footage for YouTube, or film every moment but never have that in-the-moment experience?
Film every moment.
Okay.
Film every moment, monetize it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Let's
Okay.
monetize it.
Yeah.
So that's the way I am.
Okay.
You know, it's okay to have the off-camera experiences,
Okay.
but it's like, bro, it's like just make the money for real.
Okay. Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, economic decision.
Okay. And then now, how about here's the last one. Would you rather you could only post on TikTok for a year, or only post on YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay.
TikTok, you're not making no money on TikTok. You know, like YouTube is where the money is. YouTube is where the audience is. We met off of YouTube.
Yeah, that's right.
Like YouTube opens up. I have this place because of YouTube. Like
It's a nice place too.
yeah,
It's a
it's
nice
for my
place.
channel soon. You know,
Yeah.
but YouTube opens up opportunities. YouTube opens up doors. YouTube allows you to network. You know what I mean? Because like you never have met me, but you feel like you know me already.
Right.
Based
sure
off
do.
of this concept.
Yeah, that's true.
So YouTube is like is really like I love YouTube for real. Yeah.
Okay. I just had a closing question. So, what's some advice?
Okay.
Kind of some closing advice that you'd like to give someone that, let's say, doesn't really matter their age.
Okay.
Just someone that's frustrated and living in America. They want to get out. What
Yeah.
advice would you give them?
Man, what advice would I give somebody in the States that wants to get out? I would say plan to work the plan. So you need to like say, okay, if I want to leave and I'm serious about leaving, make a plan to do it, right? Okay, well, I'm going to save up this amount of money. I'm going to go to this country. I'm going to do this. Okay, plan it all out. Then once you plan it out, you got to do the work right behind it to make it a reality. So I think a lot of people nowadays, we live in a microwave generation, as my mom always says. We want everything instantly, but things don't necessarily always work out instantly. And so you may make a plan, you may work it for 6 months and you see 0 results. 7 months and see 0 results. 8 months and see 0 results. But the results may be at the 24-month mark. Most people won't make it to the 24-month mark, right? And so just like with YouTube, like I said, it took me 3 years to get to 1,000 subscribers, right? And so if I would have stopped short, I'm done with it. I'm gonna make 10 videos and quit, I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? I would be, I don't know, doing something totally different, more than likely, right? The butterfly effect. So in essence, I would say, make the plan, make a solid plan. That's the thing, make a solid plan and then just stick to it. Don't change it up, don't deviate. Just stick to what you know you're supposed to be doing for however long it takes until it works out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good advice. So that kind of wraps things up here. I feel like it could go on forever.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, so this is, No Limit Eddie. Why don't you tell them, in case the audience, they've got some new people,
Okay.
how can they find your content?
Okay, perfect. So if you guys want to find me, man, go on YouTube, type in No Limit Eddie, No Limit Eddie. Watch my content. I have a relocation guide for you guys. It's literally like $8, guys. Pick it up. And the crazy thing about that book is every time I go to a new country, I add to it and you get it for free, right? So there's no like additional charges. So when I'm finished with Kenya, everything I learned, I'm gonna put it inside the book, right? So pick up the relocation guide, I'll say, and subscribe to the channel. You'll learn a thing or two from it.
All right, so that was another great episode we had with No Limit Eddie. This is Expat D. So if you're interested in getting content about trying to move abroad, okay, you're trying to move abroad, do it sustainably, and really just try to create that dream lifestyle, and which a lot of people consider the new American dream, check out my content, okay? You can find me on YouTube, Expat D, and yeah, like, subscribe, and let's come along and join me for the journey.